Hi guys, and welcome back to SwitchUp. Congrats to the person in the top comments. You have won a free game. Simply send us an email and we'll hook you up. If you'd like to win one, then just leave your normal comments below. We pick one each week in our sales series. Quick reminder, we've still got 10% off on our website. That allows you to buy eShop cards at a discount and then obviously use those to pick up too many games to add to your backlog. I'm confident this is one of the best lists I've put together in a while. So with that said, what is on sale? Well, let's find out. First up, one of the best adventure platform puzzle games on Switch. It's Fez, and you play as Gomez, a strange little creature living in this weird 2D world. Now, I reviewed this one on the channel. It's brilliant. The real kicker here is that you can rotate the entire world and then that changes what you can land on. I read a very cool interview about the guy making this and how difficult it was to actually get this to work right. But it's not just a gimmick, it really does work to enhance the platforming. The game has beautiful pop-in visuals, it's got a great soundtrack, and it clocks in at a very small 1.2 gigs. It's a real gem, this one, a delightful game. Check out our full review if you're interested. This one goes on sale until January the 17th. Then we've got FUGA, Melodies of Steel. You can buy the base game for $31.99 or your regional equivalent, or there's the deluxe edition which is $47. Now it's still quite expensive, but it's a really good game. It's very much like Advance Wars, but it has some role-playing mechanics whereby between combat you can actually move around your tank, chatting to the different characters, and they'll reveal their backstories as you complete different quests for them. As you build these relationships, it improves their abilities, and they also can have synergies between each other, so you might have a brother and sister that can do more damage when they're paired up. You place them onto the different parts of your tank, and then when you're in combat, they'll have their own weapon specialities, and you'll need to look at the armor defense of the enemy and then target that. A really nice, quirky little game. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, and yeah, again, check out our review if you're interested. That sale goes on until January the 17th. One that's certainly worth picking up is Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. When this launched, it had some real performance issues, like they were pretty bad. It's been patched a few times since then, and it's much better than it was. It's still not perfect, but it's a very good RPG. It's an ARPG, like an alter universe that you can move into. You have to fight these huge wave-based battles, and then you can move back to the real world. You're trying to stop the Grimwald Nox, but the Monstrums are essentially, well, they're basically they're like Ys versions of Power Rangers. No one really knows why they get to be this powerful, but they have this purpose of defending the world from the Grimwald Nox. It all sounds very confusing. It's classic Japanese. It's very fun, really enjoyable game, and I'd say it's worth picking up. You're looking at about 40 to 50 hours of gameplay. It's 33% off at the moment, and that's until January the 17th. This one's only on sale in the EU regions. It's Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, and it's half price, taking it down to £12.49. That matches the cheapest it's ever been on sale, and that sale only goes on till January the 12th. It's yet another game that we're talking about that we have a full review of on the channel if you want to find out a bit more, but it's an action RPG, and it has some of the best combat. You can jump onto the backs of monsters, literally clamber your way up and start stabbing them in the back. There's an interesting mechanic whereby you can have these companions called pawns, P-A-W-N-S. You can create your own ones, and then you can actually have these go out into the world on their own, weirdly enough, through the internet, and people can use them to fight, and then you'll use them in a few days and they'll have gained in abilities and experience. That's a nice little mechanic, that. There's loads of side quests and other bits and bobs, but a really excellent game. This one, as I say, not on sale for long until January the 12th. Then there's Death's Door. This one was reviewed recently on the channel. A brilliant game. It's 25% off at the moment and has some Souls-like elements to it, but it's not that difficult. So there are some tough boss fights, but overall you're not going to be pulling your hair out like you might be on some, well, it's got to be said, hasn't it? On Dark Souls it can get quite frustrating, but still awesome. But this one features a cute little crow who has a bit of an attitude. You have some ranged abilities as well, which work almost like a stamina system. And the essential aim of the game is to go around and defeat these humongous bosses. One of them looks like almost like a citadel or a castle. It's very cool. It's 2.7 gigs. It'll take you about, well, it took me about 15 hours. It says that you can do it in 8, but I tend to try and look for all the secrets and stuff. A really good game. I'm sure some people in the comments will let you know what they thought of it as well. One game that's on sale very often, like very, very often, is No Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, but it rarely goes down to this lowest price. This matches its lowest ever price. It's 80% off, taking it down to $9.99. Sorry, it isn't available in the EU regions. This is America only. However, you can buy the physical in the UK for much cheaper. No Kuni is an interesting one. It feels quite classic JRPG, but then it gets a bit of Pokemon in there as well. It starts out a bit too slow. There's no two ways about it. It does. It starts out a bit too slow, but when you get into the meat of it, it's a fantastic game. Although I would have liked them to have thought of a better name for your companion. It's called Drippy. This one's on sale until January the 17th, and you're looking at about 50 to 100 hours at least. It's 5.7 gigs. Now, one of you asked me to let you know when this one finally came to the US region sale. It's Divinity Original Sin 2, the definitive edition. I'm always banging on about it. It's because Larian Studios know how to make something just special. It's incredible. Its roots are in things like Baldur's Gate, and obviously Larian Studios went on to make Baldur's Gate 3, but there's so much freedom here. You create your class, or you can choose one of the, I think, 6 predefined ones, and every problem you come across in the world, it lets you decide what to do. No, I cannot afford to buy that dagger. I can get this huge hammer and hit you in the head and take it. Don't try that. It really is a game that embraces freedom and choice. I think the combat might not be for everyone. It's kind of tactical in some ways, and it can also be very difficult. But again, it's a game that's based on clearly defined, fair systems, and it never feels like it's out of your hands to do well and achieve what you set out to achieve. It's 11.8 gigs. That's quite a beefy one. And yeah, about 100 to 150 hours if you want to do everything. But although more expensive than some of the other games on this list, absolutely worth it. Brilliant game. Then we've got The Messenger, and I forget the name of it. They recently announced that new RPG, didn't they? What was the name? Oh my goodness, I've forgotten. But it's set within the world of The Messenger. Totally different style of game, but yeah, set within this same universe. This is awesome. It starts out at it's basically Ninja Gaiden 3.0, and then after a while it suddenly opens up into this Metroidvania, and yeah, we hear that all the time, but it's done so well here. There's this mechanic where you can switch between like an 8-bit and a 16-bit style. That changes the music and everything else. But really it's about the cast of characters and how well written they are, as well as some of the boss fights that make this it stands out head and shoulders above many of the other Metroidvanias. If you do already own it, then don't forget to download the free DLC Picnic Panic, which adds 3 new levels and bosses, as well as 18 new music tracks and some other bits and bobs, which, yeah, I mean, it's completely free, so you might as well. Alright, so we have a bit of a redemption one here, and it's Ghostrunner. Our initial review of this was scathing, to say the least. It was terrible at launch, and unfortunately for games like this, no one ever goes back to revisit them. Well, no, we tend to do, but no one else does. So its reviews across the board, including our original review, they're just really low. Now, since then, it's had a number of patches, and it's been brought up massively since launch. It actually runs really well. We do a series called All Patched Up, and I've covered this one. I'll try and pop a link to that as well down below. But you can see they've listened and they've gone back and put the time in. It's essentially like a fast-paced parkour platformer with masses of murder thrown in for good measure. You've got a one-hit kill mechanic. You can slow down time, you can hit bullets back towards their source, and then just grapple dance your way around the stages. It's very, very cool. I really enjoyed it, and I was just so pleased to see them put the effort in and go back and patch it up. It's 9 gigs to download, and it will take you about 8 to 12 hours. And I do believe actually one of the newest patches has added in a brand new game mode. I haven't been able to play that one, but if you've got the game and can let us know in the comments, that would be really appreciated. The hidden gem of the week. It's only really it's weird to have a hidden gem that actually comes from EA. Yeah, I know. So they're usually in my avoid list with FIFA. But Lost in Random is a lovely game. It's an action adventure that kind of released amongst a few other titles and was lost for all intents and purposes to the swathe of eShop detritus, but it's really good. It's all set within this weird gothic world, almost like a Grimm's fairy tale, and it's replete with a wicked queen. Not only can you walk around and chat to the inhabitants, but you can also take on different quests. But it's the combat which is the standout. It has this very interesting take that uses dice, and I know when you hear dice you're like, yeah, not for me, thanks. But it combines that dice, card collecting to make something a bit unique and really enjoyable to play. I'm pretty sure it was one of our writers, Asdin, who's played more of this than me, that was really enjoying it. I am still yet to finish it and would absolutely love to, had the backlog not just grown again. But it's its lowest ever price, it's 33% off, and that's until January the 17th, and it's a solid recommendation.
Ooh, cards contain new attacks, abilities, and more. All of which come in handy during...
Alright, this is the point where we have 2 games you should avoid. But honestly, there's nothing that I've played in this last week that I would say is bad enough to go in there. It would be good if you could let us know down in the comments, actually, what am I talking about? I just reviewed Hollow 2. That was absolutely terrible, like painfully bad, with some of the worst voice acting and just general gameplay I've ever experienced. Oh my word, yeah, avoid Hollow 2. What a load of trash. The other one, though, hopefully, is going to come from you guys, and we'll pick one of those as our winner. Make sure you like some of the comments down below of people that have, well, basically told us what to avoid, and hopefully the cream will rise to the top and we'll give that person a free game next week. Thanks all of you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. We just went past 230,000 subscribers, which is actually it's just ludicrous. It's a ridiculous number that I can't get my head around, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks to our Patreons, you guys are amazing, and as always, for all things Switch all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya.